The date today is 4/7/2018. We're at the Red Cross Center in Evansville, Indiana, and this is Bob Nelson, and he's part of the honor flight that's going out in the near future. Bob Nelson was in the military, and he's going to tell us when he's born, birth date, and then what part of the military he's in and where he was recruited. Can you tell us?
Well, name's Bob Nelson. What all do you want to know now?
Okay, when was your birth date, Bob?
February 6th, 1934.
34. So you did get to see a little bit of World War II. Were you born here in Evansville?
Yes.
Can you tell us what you thought about World War II? Because you're about 6, 8 years old. All the industry that was happening here in Evansville at that time. Can you tell us a little bit about what you thought about it as a kid?
Well, like everybody else, we thought about it, but there's nothing we could do about it.
So by the war was over by the time you were 9 years old. But you did see us win, and
Yeah.
your parents or uncles or aunts are probably all working one of the factories here.
Yeah. Worked the factory, some of us in service.
In the service too. Okay, so then you got in the what service you get in? What year did you get into service?
I got in the U.S. Air Force in 1953.
Okay, so Air Force was created in 1947. Prior to that was Army Air Corps.
Air Corps.
So you became Air Force, and then where'd you go to boot? And then where'd you go in, or where'd you go do?
Well, I went into boot camp at Blackland Air Force Base, then I went to Colorado, and then I went to Korea.
Okay, tell us what you did in Colorado and what base. Fitzsimmons there, or what base were you in Colorado? At the one of the bases there in Colorado.
Yeah, one of the bases in Colorado.
Were you working with jets, or you work with fixed wings?
I was in radiological and munitions.
So radiological. So you figured out the radar and also munitions. Are they dropping bombs or bullets?
Bombs.
What kind of bombs are they dropping?
Big ones.
Great big, like 1,000-pounder?
Yeah.
And then you went over to Korea. What year did you go to Korea?
1953.
So you got the last end of the war. The war was in 54. So you got a little bit of action over there, and you helped the airplanes load the bombs up and drop them?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we just put them on them carts and draw them to the airplane, and then they take them up.
With about 1,000-pound or 500-pound bombs?
Mostly it was 5.
500, and so take 2 or 3 of you, put them on a cart,
Yeah.
and then you put them on the bottom of the airplane, or they push them underneath it, and they hold about 1 or 2?
Oh, no, they hold more now.
What kind of planes were they? You remember any kind of planes you were working with?
B-25.
B-25s, and they would just drop the bomb and they'd come back. And it would be detonated as it left, or it was not a live bomb until you put it up.
Put the fuses in
You
on
put
the plane.
So they put it on the plane. The fuses on the plane. But could you see it on the bottom of the plane when it went up in the air? Or was it inside the plane?
Inside.
Inside, and then they opened up a door and dropped it out.
Yeah. Drop them out.
How much area would that destroy, a 500-pound bomb? Pretty good size.
Oh, yeah. It'd take his place out.
Yeah.
Easy.
But we had nuclear material then, but we used no nuclear material at that time.
No.
It's just all in our back pocket.
Yeah.
And then when did you get out of the service?
In 1957.
Yeah. And then you worked in Evansville ever since?
No, I went to California for 15 years.
What city in California?
Which one?
Speak this way. Speak this way.
I lived in Buena Park when we left.
Yes.
Downey.
Yeah.
Wife's from California.
So you found her out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the military get out and stay in California.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I wouldn't do right now.
So you were there 4 years, U.S. Air Force. 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah. And then what brought you back to Evansville? A job?
Job.
Yeah. Brought your wife with you?
Yeah.
And then what job do you have here?
Sheet metal worker.
Oscar Business with Bippus or with Oscar?
Oscar.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah, he's a good teacher. He's got a building named after him down there.
Yeah,
he did a lot of Union Hall, and he did a lot for World War II. He was helped with Patton's Army and everything else. He was a real craftsman in World War II. I interviewed him years ago. But well, anything you think about war, anything you think about the United States, why we have our freedom, and how important it is for some of these youngsters to get trained in the military. Give me any comments on that.
Well, I think some of these kids will do a lot of good to, spend time in the service. Because right now they're nasty. They don't care.
What do you think about our freedom? You happy with our freedom?
I love it.
Yeah.
I hope we get rid of some of this other junk.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it, Bob, and thank you. You're going to have a great time on the honor flight. with Brian Jewell here, and he's going to be a good leader for you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.